This program contains adult language and situations which may be considered offensive to some viewers and/or children, but more likely their parents.
Alright, people. Something's come to my attention here. I found this website. It looks like, well, it looks a lot like the old Relapse board, which, get into that shit again. But it's not Relapse, it just has a similar look to it. So, what can I say? So this website here, somebody wrote this on my YouTube, one of my YouTube comments. Hold on. Somebody put this on my YouTube comment, and he put a link to some thread, some message board. It's called Kiwi Farms. It's https://kiwifarms.net/Dragonlord-Michael-Michael-Constantino.38837. And I'll put a link to this forum down in down in the description. And just like with Relapse, it looks like another forum where they made fun of me. But I don't know that yet. Let's look at this. Okay. So let's look at this forum here. Excuse me while I eat taco hummus with little fucking pieces of bagel. So the first post is just, I ran across this guy on YouTube. He seems like a lot of fun. Makes lots of videos and streams a lot, and it just has a couple pictures. It has a picture of me and Juicy on there, a picture of me with the machete, some naked picture of me, I don't know. And then it has a couple of my videos on here. I wish this internet collective would just stop with this shit. I never gave internet collective permission to re-up my videos. So that's a problem. So let's go on here. He looks like a proto boogie 2988. I don't know what that means. It's true, this man has no dick. I do. It's just a weird angle in that picture. So I mean, holy crap! I never knew fat guys had no dicks. What? I have a dick. It's just a weird angle. That's all. Just a really weird angle. I have a dick. It's just just a weird angle in that picture. He's fat and hairy, and I would not have sex with him. I wouldn't want to have sex with you either. I don't even know if you're a girl or a boy. Enter the dragon. Really has that Austin Powers villain look nailed down. What Austin? Oh, you mean Fat Bastard? Okay. I gotta turn the heat, Pookie. There, shit. Don't make me do Fat Bastard voices while I'm trying to eat, because I'll just choke on something. I wonder what he smells. I wonder what he smells of, someone said. I smell normal, I guess. I don't know. I smell like nothing, really. Except for when I'm working out real hard, I do have kind of like BO, but other than that, it's I don't really smell like anything. Just so I need a fat fucker who dumpster dives for trash. Would it be better if I was a skinny fucker who dumpster dived for trash? I just picked a random video and jumped to a random time and found I don't know what video this is really. He says, I see a guitar stand with no guitar, a strange piece of paper taped to the wall, a table that's labeled bitch, a walrus eating shit out of a pot, a tub of coffee that I know has something besides coffee in it, an empty box of what I can only assume is diabetes medicine, and the usual hoarder trash. Meanwhile, he's talking about how he watches YouTube on his PS4 because his computer is just a crappy laptop. I got to see more later. It's just all right. Oh, here's the video that he was talking. What video is he talking about now? What video is this? Oh, it's called Dragon Lord Clooney has a meltdown on tape. Okay. Let me address that real quick. Okay. I see a guitar stand with no guitar. Alright, here's the story behind that. So what happened was I do play guitar and I do play bass and I do vocals for a death metal band called Dragon Lord Frodo, okay? And my band has released 5 albums, okay? Now, here's the thing. I fucked up my hand, okay, back maybe April or so. I fucked up my hand. I don't know what happened to it. It was like a tendonitis or something in my right hand. No, it wasn't from jerking off, because it was this hand that was fucked up. I jerk off with this hand, my left hand. Even though I am right-handed, I feel it's easier to do it with my left. I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, I fucked up my hand. I believe I fucked it up by lifting a window. Like when it started to get warmer out, I would open up the windows for air. Like, it was one of those old wooden windows that go up like that. They always stick. And in order to open them, you have to kind of bang on them to loosen them up. And feels like I have something in my hair. I don't know. But I bang on the frame, on the wood part, to loosen it up. And I think that's what might happen. But for a couple months, I couldn't even like move. Like now it's fine. Now it's fine. But I had to like my hand was in like a brace and shit, and I couldn't even like move my thumb like that. See, it was like it would look like that literally. I couldn't even. Now I could just do that. So it healed itself. And I was going to like all kinds of like physical therapy and shit for it. But in the meantime, because I play guitar and I play bass and all that other happy horse shit, it was really affecting it when I was playing guitar, right? Like, I couldn't even play guitar because of my hand at the time. It would hurt too much. And also, when I was in jail, I was in jail for 28 days, and I'll get to that in a little bit, because somebody asked me about jail on here. I'll get to that, but I was in jail for 28 days from May 23rd to June 21st. Okay? And when I got back, because my mom and my dad were coming over to this house every day to feed the cat while I was in jail. Okay? So, and they also did some weird fucking shit here. I don't know what the fuck happened. But they decided they want to clean my fucking house, which meant they were gonna... They stole a bunch of shit, okay? So, on top of all that, I got home, and my fucking guitar amp was turned on. And it was one of those, like, B-52, tube amps. They blew out the fucking tubes on it from having it on so long. And yeah, so I had to sell the amp for like $50 because it was broke. I sold it to some guy for parts. You know, because it was like for me to get the thing fixed would have cost me all kinds of fucking money. Oh, shit. Hold on. It would have cost me all kinds of money to get that thing fixed, and it just wasn't worth it. So I was just like, you know, $50 is fine. The thing doesn't work, and you know, whatever. I sold it for parts, pretty much. Some guy knew how to fix it, and he could fix it on his own. It's like one of those really, really specialized fixes, I guess. But he fixed it. Like from what I understand, it was there was a problem. She blew out the fucking transformer in there, in the fucking amp. Hold on, I'm making a pot of tea here. And she blew out the fucking transformer in the amp. So I don't know. Make sure that string doesn't burn. So what happened was I ended up since I couldn't play anyway at the time, and I needed money anyway. I ended up selling my guitars for some money. I wanted to go on a trip when I got out of jail. Because what happened was I had a trip all set up to go. I wanted to go to Toronto for the weekend, okay? And I had a trip set up to go, and I had a trip, what was it? Maybe, it was like in, oh, come on. I'm like dropping all kinds of shit here. I had a trip set to go to Toronto in June, and I missed it because I was in jail. Okay, so I lost all the money from that. Then I planned on another trip like in August when I got out. I got out in June, I planned another trip in August. And they denied me at the border because of the charges. So I lost out on that too. So I was kind of pissed. So anyway, I sold my guitars and everything so I can go to Toronto. I got money and then I went and I got the money exchange into Canadian and all that other shit. But I'm pissed off because they denied me at the border, so I couldn't even go. So that's unfortunately. So that's why it's still there. It's still there because I still have I didn't sell the guitar stand itself. So that's what happened. I see guitar, a strange piece of paper taped to the wall. Oh, you mean this thing? This thing? No, you know who that is? That's Detective Griffin. That's the guy who arrested me back in May. Okay, he's a good guy. Okay, he's a good guy. Detective Terry Griffin from Cheektowaga. He's a good guy. I'm not gonna hold it against him that he arrested me. So it's like, okay, whatever. You're doing a job. He seems like a nice guy. I'm not gonna give him fucking trouble. You know, he's gonna take me in, and that's about it. Leave it at that. The guy has a cool sense of humor, so I made a comment on Cheektowaga, was it Cheektowaga Police Department Facebook page at one point where they were talking about having this fundraiser for the Cheektowaga Police, I think, and what it was they're gonna sell pizza or something. They were gonna have like a Cheektowaga pizza eating contest or something, and I said, could somebody take a picture of Detective Griffin of Cheektowaga eating a slice of pizza? I said just to like shit post. I said just like shit post, and the one day I had to go down to the police station and get what do you call it? I had to get something. I forget what it was. Oh, the court disposition. I had to go down there, and he saw me in the parking lot. He hands me this. He's like, "Here's what you requested." I'm like, Jesus Christ! And like, I didn't even expect that. See, it's funny because the detectives is in on the joke, and I kind of have to watch what I say on YouTube as well, because he watches my video. He watches my videos, so that's something else that I have to. That's something else that's keeping me out of trouble, knowing that law enforcement watches my video. I got a couple law enforcement people watching my videos. I got a guy at Buffalo Police watching them. I got Detective Griffin, and I might have a detective in Tonawanda, Detective Sweeney is his name, watching my videos as well. So, I mean, it keeps me straight. It keeps me out of trouble knowing I can't say this or that, you know, because whatever. I can't make threats or whatever on video, and that's fine. I shouldn't be making threats. So there's, you know, a tape to the wall. There's a table labeled bitch. Okay, there's a table. So here's the thing, okay? from what I understand, this table isn't even mine. Okay, this table belonged to the guy that lived here before me. The landlord is a friend of the family, so he kind of got me in this apartment, and the guy that lived here before me left all kinds of shit around. He left this couch, he left the table, he left that stand, that TV stand, I should say. He left a dresser up there. He left a bunch of shit here. He left a fucking TV in the closet upstairs. Like a 32-inch TV. Where he's like a pothead or something, right? So I was like, hey, listen, can you just leave all this shit here? I'll use it. So I didn't put the bitch thing on the table. The guy that lived here before me, that's his table. I just left it here. I'm just using his shit. He didn't come for it. So whatever, it's mine now. A walrus eating shit out of a pot. I don't remember what I was eating out of a pot. I think I was eating like and it's not a pot, it's Corningware. It's a Corningware dish. But I believe what I was eating that in that video was there was a sale at Tops, I believe, where it was like buy two get 5 free or something, and they were like those I don't know if you people know what these are, but there's this company called Barber Foods, and they make these stuffed chicken breasts, and they're like stuffed. There's a couple different kinds. There's like cordon bleu. It's pretty much just like a chicken breast, but it's like stuffed and breaded. Or sometimes it's not breaded. Sometimes it's like seasoned, and the seasoning, the seasoned one. I actually like the seasoned one better than the breaded, to be honest. But they stuff it with like cheese and broccoli, or the other one was like cordon bleu, which is this was it Swiss cheese and a piece of ham in it. The best one I like is the Kiwi, and that one is I can't find the Kiwi anywhere though. The Kiwi is like it's a chicken breast, but it's like stuffed with like garlic butter. It's so good, but I can't find it anywhere. The second best would be the broccoli and cheese one. Okay, a tub of coffee that I know has something besides coffee in it. I mean, this thing. What's in here? Well, I'll let you look at what's in here. And yeah, you're right. There's no coffee in it. What there is, it's a bunch of used needles. Because I'm a diabetic. And you can't just throw the needles right in the trash. You need to put them in like a coffee can or something like that. That you can seal. That you can seal up so that you don't just throw loose needles in the garbage, because it rips bags, you know, it could stick people, that kind of thing. I also throw my test strips in here as well. When this fills up, then I throw it out. In fact, on the top it actually says, well, it's a little faded, but on the top of it says dirty needles and test strips slash lancets. Okay, so that's it. An empty box of what I can only assume is diabetes medicine. Okay, so I think what you're looking at is this thing, and it wasn't empty. It was just beat up to thing, but this is just the box for my pen needles. I'll take a bunch of them out. That's what they look like. That's what they look like. For instance, a cap, and then you screw it onto the pen needle, take the cap off, and inject yourself with a usual hoarder tray. Yeah, there's a lot of shit on my table, I understand. Meanwhile, he's talking about how he watches YouTube on his PS4 because his computer is just a crappy laptop. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of YouTube on the PS4 because of that. It turned out that my PS4 was a better computer than my laptop. Because my laptop was like, I think I got that maybe 2013 maybe. And not only did I get it 2013, I also got it at a rent-a-center. Okay, so that's what happened. It was like a real cheap one because I needed something, because my computer just died at the time and I needed something quick, and I was like, I had to have that one. That's all I really had. So, okay. Well, the introduction video describes him perfectly. He considers his naked body the equivalent of Michelangelo's David or the Venus de Milo, while complaining that his new pics have been banned from Facebook. With an attitude like that, everything else, including his future arrest, makes complete sense. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing here, okay? What exactly is the difference between me being naked and, like, a statue of David? Who the fuck is David? Just some guy that's like this with his dick hanging out, right? I mean, you gotta remember, Michelangelo. Was there a guy named David that was like posing for him like that, and he was like chiseling out of like stone or whatever? I don't know, but it's art. Why isn't what I'm doing art? You know? That's what I'm trying to say. What? Just because I'm fat? Is that really the only difference here? I mean, art. Back then, they didn't have fucking cameras. They didn't have video. They didn't have any of that. If you wanted a picture of someone, you either had to paint it, or you had to make it out of fucking stone, chisel it out like that. That was the only thing you had, okay? So what's the difference between that's considered art, and, you know, me doing a video like this? Just because I'm fat? Don't body shame. Don't body shame, dude. And you make fun of me having a little fucking dick. Look at fucking Michelangelo's David. And David had a fucking little fucking dick. Okay? He had a fucking little dick. I once read that back in Renaissance times, like when that shit was made, having a little dick, okay, was something to be celebrated. Like these big black guys now, that fucking dicks down the here, they wouldn't be celebrated. But a guy like me, if I was in fucking Renaissance Rome, I'd be like the king, okay? So, there you go. I love the fact he looks exactly what I was... You didn't expect fucking, like, Elijah Wood or something? I'm laughing at just looking at the thumbnails. My serious question: why are these mentally warped and ampled body people feel compelled to make videos without clothes on? This guy is on another level, but it does seem like fatties with brain damage have a thing against wearing shirts and pants. This video, he starts out with a fart and makes a reply in a comment section about being arrested for threatening to rip a baby out of a woman. This guy is a wonderful train wreck. Here's the thing, okay? I'm gonna explain, I'm gonna explain the fucking clothes thing again. Okay? When I'm home, okay, when I'm home here, this is my home. When I'm home, I always walk around with no pants on. I walk around just like this. Okay? I really don't like wearing pants. I just don't like it. I don't like sitting around with pants. I don't like sitting... I just don't like it. I don't like the feel. I don't like it at all. If I have to wear pants, I'd rather wear shorts. That's why a lot of times I go out in the middle of winter and I'm wearing shorts. Because I just can't stand the feel of long pants, really. And just sitting around, even in shorts, no. So, it's more of a feel thing. It's nothing... Okay, it's nothing sexual. It's just... I just feel comfortable like this. Okay? That's all it is. Even when I was in jail... I go in my cell sometimes, and like I would just sit there like this in jail in my underwear, because that's how I feel comfortable. That's how I feel comfortable. I can't feel comfortable sitting around in fucking pants. Okay, I can't do it. I really can't. So that's why I do it, and then I do videos and I'm like, okay, I just don't feel like putting on pants for this video. It's like when people come over, I'm like, that's the one thing I hate. Like, I like having company, but then I just feel like I have to put on pants, you know? And that's the one thing I hate about having company, is that I gotta put on fucking pants. So, again, it's nothing sexual about it, or I'm not trying to make it sexual. Okay. Arrested for threatening to rip a baby out of a woman. I'll get to that in a little bit. It's true. That's why I was arrested. There's a lot more to it, but that's it. Jesus Christ, did this guy sacrifice his dick for more fat? No, I have like I said, it's just a bad picture. It's a bad angle. If I saw these two in public, I would just assume it was an exceptional individual and his wrangler. I don't know. Oh, view attachment. This should be great. What the fuck is this? Oh shit. Oh, it's Juicy and me. No, actually that was actually one of my former friends, Juicy. Juicy's kind of fucking hot, but you know, Juicy's from like Maine. She's like from what's that city in Maine? Lewiston, Maine. She's from, and she came to Buffalo the one day because I had like a 9-hour trip. Not even to see me, but she had to come. She had to go to Akron, Ohio, I guess it was. I think it was. And she was passing through Buffalo. And I said, hey, if you pass through Buffalo, let's hang out. She's like, okay, let's hang out. So that picture was at the Main Place Mall in Buffalo, downtown Buffalo. We got some food. Listen. I didn't even know we were gonna hang out until maybe an hour before she was coming through. Okay. So I had to improvise. I didn't know where to fucking go. So I'm like, she wanted to meet downtown. There really is nothing downtown but that stupid fucking mall. She didn't have a big car. She had what they call the egg car, which I don't know what her fucking deal is, but she thinks that if she's gonna do like this road trip, that she has to go and rent a car for it because she doesn't want to put all kinds of strain on her her regular vehicle. So she rents a car, and she got like the fucking smallest car possible, like this 2-seater, and and I guess the whole back of the car was filled with their luggage. It was her and her sister, and her sister is fucking hot too. And she's actually the one that took the picture. Her sister's like fucking hot. And Juicy's kind of hot too, but, you know, Juicy's more like, she looks more like an emo hipster type of person. I'd bang Juicy, but I don't know. I'd bang the fucking her sister though. She's Nicole is fucking hot though. Okay, I'll tell you that much. So there's actually a video all about that day on my YouTube. You go and check it out. It's called like Juicy Does Buffalo or something like that. And check it out. That's what happened. But we went. This is where we went to eat. We went to go eat at some pizza place in the mall called Gino and Joe's. Okay, and it's like this pizza place that's in the Main Place Mall, downtown Buffalo. It's like the ghetto ass mall, and like they all speak Russian at that pizza place. It's really weird. So we call it Russian pizza. Hi, Gravy. Hey there. Come on, Gravy. What are you doing? What are you doing, Gravy? Hi. Alright, it's true, this guy. He's like a Ken. No, he's not. Fat Ken. I wonder how... Somebody already asked that. Guess he wasn't fat shamed enough. Guess he wasn't fat shamed enough to change his life goal for the healthy path. Well, you know, if you knew, fat shaming somebody doesn't want fat shaming somebody doesn't change them. It makes them more. It makes them like, why should I change for this asshole? That's what I'm thinking. Looks like Danielle Moscato's final form. I don't know who that is. Why is it always fat, unattractive people who insist on being naked all the time? Why can't it be some hot bitch with tits, big tits instead? I agree. Well, doesn't he seem like a lot of fun? Fat, naked, and penisless. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta drink my tea. Okay. Of course. All right, let's try to read this. Of course, he has a low battery and a smoke alarm and lives beeps. Actually, look, I gotta tell you something. That's actually not my smoke alarm. Okay, I changed the batteries in it. It's coming from the people next in the other apartment over there. No, actually, I believe it's coming from the smoke alarm in the hallway, which is something that the landlord has to do. So, I mean, no, it's not my smoke alarm. My smoke alarm is up there. Okay, I changed the batteries on it. Okay, when it starts chirping like that, I get a new battery within a day. But yeah, I hear it too, and eventually I'm just unaware of it now. I don't even hear it now. But yeah, I mean, that's coming from the hallway, I believe. There's like a smoke alarm that's like right near the going downstairs to the basement. There's a smoke alarm on the ceiling there that the landlord is supposed to put a new battery in. I'm not going out and buying a battery to replace the smoke alarm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I should, because he bought those light bulbs, so I should go do it. Let me see. Edit. After listening to him for a few hours, he points out a lot of stupid bullshit people do and how shitty life can be. He also has goals for the future, like dying somewhere he loves instead of in Lovejoy. I was wrong with my first statement, and I'd say he has more ducks in a row than many other cows. He should change this. He should change the smoke alarm battery though, because it's fucking annoying. Actually, I should, because the landlord went out and bought me the light bulbs that I need. I couldn't find the correct light bulbs. There's the light in my kitchen here that I could not find for the life of me the correct light bulbs, and he went out and found the right light bulb. So I should do him a favor and at least go and change a smoke detector. Okay? I was going to ask why the nude pictures were not spoilered, since they are, well, nude pictures. But it's not like there's any dick to spoil it. Okay. For the face when your penis is hidden so deep inside your fat rolls that your nudes don't even count as nudes. I'd really like to know how he managed to climb into and out of them. He's talking about the dumpster when I dumpster dive. Okay, here's the thing, okay? Here's what I do. I've never once like, when people think of dumpster diving, they think of some guy that's like with a ladder that's climbing into the dumpster and all that other happy horse shit. And you know, you could be right. You could be doing that. But the places I dumpster dive at, they're usually just like we don't have like the big aluminum garbage cans here. We have these big plastic garbage totes that are provided to us by the city because they want like a certain type of thing for the trucks and everything. They hook it onto the garbage truck, and then it just goes like that. So we don't buy our own garbage things here. So what it is I don't usually dumpster dive, but I do go in like trash bins, like at certain video game stores. They always throw out a lot of systems and whatnot, and that's what I do. When it is a dumpster, it's usually the dumpsters that are that you just slide open. There's like a little fucking hatch on the side. You just slide that open, and usually you could just grab it from what's right there. And any other time, like if it's like way deep in there and I can't get to it, usually when I dumpster dive, I bring like some kind of like stick or something, so that way I can like if it's like a pizza box or something that I try to get to, I try to stab the pizza box and try to drag it over or something. I try to be creative. So I'm not actually climbing in there and trying to climb out. Everything I'm trying to do from either the side of the dumpster, or I just go and just check like garbage totes. I love the fact there's now a review of Breath of the Wild by a naked, portly man on the web. This is why TV is dying. I was going to make a thread on Michael a few months back, but sort of lost interest. But the dude is a fucking mess. He was arrested for aggravated harassment. He was arrested for aggravated harassment last May for spurging out. What the fuck does that mean? Spurging? Oh, like asperging? Spurging out too much. I still don't know the full details. He has thousands of hours of videos of him just being a complete spurg and flipping his table over mundane shit. He records his doctor's visits and posts them online, which has led to one of his doctors telling him to fuck off. Actually, no, I know that doctor. I never actually recorded a doctor visit from him. You're talking about Dr. Nintendo, and the thing with Dr. Nintendo was that he called me while I was doing a live stream, and instead of turning off the live stream, I picked up the phone and started talking to him on the live stream. He got pissed off because of that and dropped me. It was just a phone call. It wasn't like I was recording a session with him, you know. Okay, so he seems to have beef with people in the music scene in Buffalo, all while at the same time making some of the worst music anyone has ever heard. Okay. Do I really have to go into that? I honestly don't have any beef with anybody in the music scene, really, except for one person. And that person is Clinton Rocco Carr. Everything. I don't have a beef. Everyone has a beef with me, though. That's the thing. So the story with Clinton Rocco Carr is that Clinton Rocco Carr ran a music venue out of his home, called it The Funeral Home. It was out in Riverside. Okay. He gutted the entire downstairs. Okay. Made a stage, had bands come over and play, had people come over, pay to come in and see it. It was like a little source of income for him. He lived upstairs. So I was going over there, I was watching the local bands play, and he had something against autistic people for some reason. This was back when, I don't know, when I wasn't as heavy into the YouTube. Okay, I wasn't as heavy as into the YouTube back then. A lot of it was I would like. Here's the thing: a lot of these bands don't have or didn't have recorded material. Okay, so the only way you can really listen to the band is if you went to the show. Okay, like bands like Hubris and Grave Descent, and like back then they didn't have any albums out. Okay, so the only way you can hear the music is if you went to their shows. Okay, and listen to when they played. So I had this idea that I bought a video camera, and I bought a video camera and started filming the bands, and I'd film them, and at first it was just for like my entertainment, it was just for my pleasure, because I would take the video, I would rip the audio off of it and make it into like different tracks. And then I throw it on my iPod. Now I had a Hubris album that I can listen to. Okay, but people are seeing me put this on. People are seeing me like what do you call it? People are seeing me filming, and they say, "Hey, you should put this on YouTube. It'll get our name out there." You know, I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I was doing that. I was putting it on YouTube, and after a while, some of these bands would pay me to fucking film their show, and some of the places would get me in for free and shit. I was like the king with the music scene. But this one guy, Clinton Rocco Carr, I was doing this at his house, right? And he decided to come up to me and started talking to me. You know, he's trying to be all friendly. It's like, "I never saw you around here. What's your story?" You know, I told him how I had Asperger's syndrome, how it's hard for me to make friends, it's hard for me to meet people. At the time, I just broke up with my girlfriend. I wanted to look for new friends and whatnot. So going to these metal shows was like a way to meet people, and me filming and everything, because it's hard for me to approach people and start a conversation with that. So I felt like also, on top of having a record of these bands music, I also had me filming it. It was like a conversation piece. It got people, "Hey, that's cool that you're filming these bands," whatever. Well, I had made a mistake. I told this Clinton Rocco Carr guy I had Asperger's syndrome. Somehow, Clinton Rocco Carr doesn't like people with Asperger's syndrome. I don't know why, but that was his problem. He didn't like people with Asperger's syndrome. So what did he do? He started making fun of me online on this relapse message board. It's like REELAPSE.com. It's like 3 E's after the R. And he was just talking all kinds of shit about me, like not even just I'm fat. I could see right here. This is most of the jokes. Oh, it's just a fat guy talking shit. It's like, come on, can you come up with something a little different? Can you fucking come up with something a little fucking different? How many times have I been called fat in my life? It's like, it's nothing anymore. You're telling me shit that you think I don't know. Okay, I know I'm fat. I am a fat man. Okay, and I do need some fucking exercise. So this Clinton Rocco Carr guy, he decided to go on this thing and start talking about this shit. And it wasn't just fat retard, because if that was all it was, I would just laughed about it and just maybe at the very least just say, I really don't want to go to your fucking venue anymore. So it wasn't just that. There was a lot of talk. What was it? A couple months before all this happened, I won a guitar from a raffle that was being held at his house, at his funeral home venue. And yes, it used to be an old funeral home. That's why they called it the funeral home. But I won this guitar from it. It was like this really nice Dean Cadillac guitar, signed by the members of Cannibal Corpse. And he was going around accusing me of stealing the guitar, saying how I don't deserve it because I stole it from a guy that was disabled. Which the story goes is that this guy named Tony Lorenzo, he was a great guitarist. He's dead now. Rest in peace. But he was a good guitarist, great guitarist, and he ended up getting paralyzed because he got shot in a mugging. And after he got shot right in the back, I guess, and fucked up his spinal cord, and he couldn't walk anymore. He had to like relearn how to play guitar and the whole bit. Sad story. But he was in a wheelchair. He died like about a year ago, and he had to go raffle off a bunch of his shit to pay for medical bills and pay for. He was gonna put a what do you call it? I think it was like a wheelchair ramp on his house or something. He had to do something so he can get in and out of his house, pretty much. But I ended up winning this guitar through a raffle. I put like $50 into the raffle, and I won the guitar. I was so fucking excited. Okay, I really was. And whatever. And he thought that this Clinton Rocco car guy thought that I rigged this raffle somehow so that I could win. And truth be told, the reason they thought I rigged it was because I was filming. I was like filming myself winning it, and he's like, how would he know he was gonna win and film it? And I'll explain how that happened. Because here's the thing, I was filming the bands anyway. There was bands playing that night, and in which like right before one of the bands went on, I think it was, they raffle off this guitar. Okay, and I was filming it all. I filmed when they announced the winner. So I actually didn't know I was gonna win. I was just filming it anyway, you know. I was like filming, yeah, I wonder who's gonna win. And when they called my name, I was like, holy shit. So I got lucky. So that's how I won. But people are saying I stole this guitar from this Tony Lorenzo guy. And Tony defended me on this and said he won it fair and square, you know. But people don't want to listen. He was also calling me a pedophile, and how Clint was like outside my apartment. He was trying to hack my computer, and he hacked my computer the one day through Wi-Fi, which, by the way, number one, is illegal to do, and number two, at the time I didn't even have Wi-Fi. Okay, I just had a router. It wasn't a Wi-Fi router though. But so there really is no way you could have hacked it from just being outside, because I didn't even have a Wi-Fi router in my home at the time. But he said he hacked my computer and found all kinds of child pornography or some bullshit. It's like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. And the whole thing was because, and that's the other thing, he was getting people to like take pictures of me outside or something, all because I had Asperger's syndrome. And I think the reason he doesn't like people with Asperger's syndrome is because he had a problem with what's his name, Justin Barger from Ohio, back in the day. And Justin has Asperger's, and I'll admit I don't really agree with everything that Justin believes in. He's like he has Asperger's syndrome, but he's also into like a lot of what do you call it? He's into a lot of like the Daily Stormer and all that kind of shit, like Nazi shit. He's a shit poster, okay? And even though I don't agree with what he's about, what I don't agree with his views, a lot of his views, like he's like anti-feminism. Like I'm anti-feminism as well, but he goes around and like really he like advocates like beating women and shit, and it's just not something I agree with him on. But they were going after him, and it's one thing to go after someone and say, listen, we don't agree with what you believe. We don't, and that's fine, okay? But the way these people were going about it were like, everything that they said was all about how he has Asperger's syndrome and all that. It's like, okay, so he's Asperger's syndrome, but what's that have to do with him, pretty much having bad views, bad political views or whatnot? It's like that kind of shit. And also they were going after another family in Ohio, Greg and Robin Dutko. I don't even know where they're from. Cleveland, I think. Everybody's in that same fucking area. Cleveland. Fucking Barger was from Cleveland, I think. But the Dutkos, they're pretty much your classic white trash. Okay, like, again, I don't agree with what they do, okay? But I also don't agree with Clinton and this relapse message board calling them up at 3 in the morning and fucking bitching them out because their kid has Asperger's or whatever the fuck the case may be. I don't really know the whole story behind it, but they've been harassing the Dutkos for almost half a decade now. Okay, probably longer now, since that was a couple years ago. So with Clinton Rocco Carr, I ended up going to his house one day. He wasn't home, but I went to his house. I wanted to fucking bitch him out, really. I wasn't gonna fight him. I wasn't gonna, like, punch him out. I just wanted to fucking bitch him out. Because he's going around talking all kinds of shit about me. And Clint ended up saying that he ended up saying all kinds of shit like, oh, he's threatening to come to one of these shows and shoot up the show like it's a like Columbine or something. And mind you, this happened. He was saying this like right after that guy shot up the movie theater in Colorado. That guy who had like the green hair. He was like the guy who shot up the Batman movie. So he did it around that time. Okay? And because of that, a lot of the bands started turning against me. Okay, a lot of bands turned against me. A lot of the promoters and a lot of other bar owners and whatnot got wind of this and decided just to ban me from a lot of these bars. There was a time where I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go to shows without there being some kind of problem. And looking back on it, and I do still have the trouble with that. Like sometimes I go to a show and they're like, oh, we can't let you in. Okay, whatever. The thing is that, and the thing is that Clint also had me arrested back in 2013. I think it was for harassment, and there was some other charge. And that was due to somehow his place got shut down by the police. And everybody fucking blamed me over it. Like, what the fuck you talking about? I have this. And then people are blaming me over it. I really had nothing to do with it, but I played it up. I was like, yeah, that's how. Yeah, your place just got shut down by a fucking retard. That's how I was playing it out to be. And so they were like blaming me for having this place shut down. It was like, I wish I could, but I really don't have the power to shut a place down like that. Sorry, I don't. It was shut down because it was not up to code. There was no insurance. There was he had no business license, I guess it was. No live music permit or something. There was just a lot of noise that was coming out of there. And before he sees this video, he's like, oh, I had to play sound. It had nothing to do with the soundproofing in there. I will go on record and say he had that place soundproof perfectly. Okay? He had that place soundproof perfectly. But what happened was people would just stand in the fucking parking lot, drink, smoke, whatever, be loud, and there's your fucking noise right there. You can't soundproof the outside. So I ended up going. He was having a yard sale in order to raise money for his thing, because he promised all kinds of shit, records and all kinds of. I wanted to see what he had. I had like $300 on me, so I went to his yard sale, and I took a cab there. The guy, the cab driver, I knew the cab driver, and he was he was like an ex-military kind of guy. He was like in like 3 different wars or some shit. Like, this guy don't take no shit from anyone, okay? So we go up there, and I told this guy, I was like, listen, I know how you are. Do not get the way you get. Don't start arguing with the guy. Do not do that. I don't need the trouble. Okay. So we go there. I said, you want to come and watch this? Just watch. Okay. So we go to this yard sale thing, and there was nothing out there. There was him outside. There was Clinton Rocco Carr outside. There was a table with like 3 little girls sitting at the table trying to sell cupcakes. There was a guy behind Clint grilling food or something. I don't know. And Clint was just standing there counting money like this. He didn't even see me come up. I said, hey, Clint, what's for sale? Looks up, puts his money away, said, nothing. You need to keep walking. I didn't hear my friend. What's for sale? Keep walking. Okay. So we started walking back to the car. I'm like, okay, let's just go. And I look back, and he's like following me. He's like saying all kinds of shit, like, you need to walk, keep walking. We're gonna call the police if you don't keep walking. I'm like, we're fucking walking. And he says, I'm like, I'll get my landlord to call the police, whatever. That's another story. You know, this guy pretty much gutted the downstairs of a house that he doesn't own. Having like fucking bands play at a place that he doesn't own. It turns out he said he has a landlord. That's something that the landlord has to deal with now. And yeah, so whatever. That's not my problem. That's his. And he sees me and my driver walking toward the car, and he says, "Hey, you're with him. I don't know who you are, but you need to leave as well." Looks behind him and says, "What did you say to me?" And Clint like just stopped. It was like, "Yeah, don't act like you didn't hear me, boy. I'll come over there and knock you on your fucking ass. And I'll drop kick you like a football." And Clint just walked back around and went back home. And we just walked to the fucking car. I was fucking laughing my ass off too, I admit. And we walked back to the car, we drove off, and that was it. 2 weeks later, I got home from work. And I got something to eat. I worked from like maybe 8 o'clock in the morning to about noon. I got home around, I don't know, 1 maybe like 12:30 or so. I get home, I get something to eat, and I went to sleep for a couple hours, and I get woken up. I get banging at the door. I get the fucking doorbell going off. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like in a fucking haze right now. I just fucking woke up. And I said, who is this? And he said, it's the police, open up. Okay, so I open up the door, and there's 2 officers from Buffalo Police. I'm like, okay, what, how can I help you two? Like, you're under arrest. Why? Why am I under arrest? Harassing a man. I'm like, what the? I don't even know what the fuck they were talking about. I was like, who the fuck is saying I harassed? They didn't even give me a name. They said, oh, it was some white guy that owned a music venue, and I knew who it was because who else could it have been? Clint. And why'd they say a white guy? And I'll get to that in a second. So they took me downtown. They cuffed me. They took me downtown. Sat in jail. And I saw the judge the next day. The judge put a $35,000 bail on me. I was like, damn, that's kind of excessive for what? Really? And why did it take them 2 fucking weeks to go to the police over that? It had to do because of that fucking yard sale, because my driver, I didn't even say anything. My driver was the one that made the threat. I didn't make any fucking threat. But I didn't want to rat out my driver. Because, whatever. So, in the end, I told my lawyer what happened, whatever. I got the public defender. By the way, best fucking public defender I've ever had. His name was, what was his name now? Roland Hayes. That was his name. He said he somehow he knew Clinton Rocco Carr's landlord. Somehow. And I don't know, but I told him what happened. I was like, listen. He's like, okay, I'll get up. He did, like, fucking public defender fucking hired a private eye to go and follow Clint around, I guess. I don't know if he actually followed him around, but I know he was doing some internet work. We found out Clint was involved in he was going like these like websites. He was going to like what do you call it? These other forums where parents of autistic children can go to get advice and to deal with their autistic children. And he was going on there saying that they need to be exterminated and all this other shit. I ended up getting off. I got all the charges fucking dropped. And it pretty much was like this. Clint's lawyer was like, Clint, cut the shit. My lawyer was like, cut the shit, both of you. So that's what happened. And I kind of understand why these bands and the music scene went after me when me and Clint had the beef. And now I know. Now I kind of realize it. Because here's the thing. A lot of these bands are like, they're just your regular Joe Schmoes out there. They don't have a record label. They don't have a lot of money. Okay, some of these guys are living in poverty. They're good musicians. They play good music, but they don't have money. So this funeral home place, because Clint didn't have a license, and because Clint didn't have the place up to code, he was able to let these bands play really fucking cheap, if not for free. And Clint was actually doing this just because he was like a fucking super fan, pretty much. And it was pretty much a way for the bands to make pretty much free money. Because the bands didn't have to pay to play there. And Clint would charge everyone like $5 a person to get into these shows. So everything was just profit. And then, he would pay the bands some money. So it was like free money for these bands. And Clint would keep some, the promoter, whatever, Whatever the deal was worked out. The bands would get 50, the promoter would get 30%, and Clint would get 20% or something like that. Because Clint was charging the promoters super fucking cheap prices for bands, if not free. So what happened was when Clint started his shit, I started, me and him had a little beef, and people were just looking at me like, oh, you're talking shit about Clint. You need to know that Clint. See, Clint and his funeral home are, I'll say it, they're kind of responsible for a couple of these bands, getting their names out pretty much. Oh, shit. So that's why people were like, Mike, just shut the fuck up, and that's why a lot of people hated me over it. That's why a lot of people went after me over it. And at the time I didn't know, but now I know. So I really don't have a beef with them. People have a beef with me because of it. All at the while I'm making some of the worst music anyone has ever heard. I'm not going to argue that one. This guy called Internet Collective asked Michael how he felt about fellow musical Lol Cow, King Cobra JFS, which turned into an autistic misunderstanding. There's so much more, but you really have to... We're still talking about this King Cobra JFS guy? I'm telling you, I don't have anything against him, okay? I really don't. I don't really think about him. I don't know why people think I hate this guy, but I don't. All that really hit. There was a video. I think it's a live stream I made the one day where there was somebody commenting over and over. What do you think about? What do you think about King Cobra? You should watch his video. And it was just over and over and over. I was like, fuck King Cobra. That's what I said. And it was, and then they took that one part where I said, fuck him, fuck King Cobra. They took that one part and made it seem like that was a whole video that I made about him. That I was trying to go after him. I was just like, pretty much I was just like, shut the fuck up. Fuck King Cobra. Like, I'm just tired of hearing about him, really. I don't even know who the fuck he is. That's what happened. Honestly, I really don't know who he is. And it started with that, and I still don't have any real problem with him. Yeah, it was, I don't know, but, and this Internet Collective guy, it's like, this guy's fucking weird, okay? This Internet Collective, I don't know if it's just one guy or it's a whole group, but it's so fucking weird, this whole thing. Because all it is there's this person that keeps, that was trying to get me to be their friend. And in order to be their friend, this person has all kinds of weird profiles, like trying to pretend they were girls to get people to fucking add them. Videos with him in a mask. I don't even know what the fuck's going on, really. And then at first I was kind of willing, because he was asking me to do like his podcast. I was like, okay, whatever. And he was willing. I was willing to do the podcast, and then I have another friend that he's like, I guess this guy's from Toronto or something. And I have this other friend that's from Toronto who, let's just say, she's a male to female transgender person. I'm not going to mention names, but this Internet Collective person posing as a woman, okay, actually sent her a friend request. And I didn't know this. And what happened was my friend come up to me and said, listen, one of your friends sent me a fucking friend request. And she was kind of like, she was kind of like freaked out. You know, I understand why. Because I kind of get why, because the whole trans thing, okay, I get it. She doesn't really want to bring all kinds of attention to herself, you know? So, because if you heard about, like, the news and shit, people who are transgender, sometimes they get attacked or whatever, and it's just not something that she wants. What do you call it? She doesn't want to bring attention to herself is what's going on. Okay, I understand what she is and whatnot. At first I didn't, but it was like, okay, whatever. It's cool. You know, we were never like, you know, we were just friends. You know, it wasn't like anything going on beyond getting fucking dinner at fucking Toronto. You know, but you know, at the same time, you know, she doesn't want to bring all kinds of attention to herself. She just likes to kind of blend in, really. And I get it. That's why I'm not mentioning names. But somehow she got all freaked out because this internet collective thing, my shit's getting too hot in here. This internet collective thing was, she felt that with them sending her a friend request, that she might have been outed or something. I don't know, but it just doesn't want the attention from it, you know. She doesn't want the attention from, you know, me and the way I present myself, really. I mean, we'd hang out, but she didn't want to be on camera. You know what it's like that. She just doesn't want the attention. Like, I like the attention. She doesn't. And you know what? It's totally understandable. So she got really weirded out when this internet collective thing sent her a friend request. And I don't know what went on with that. I don't know whether it was they sent her a friend request like to fuck with her, or it was just simply, oh, we saw her, like, you know, people you may know on Facebook. You know how they had that thing, people you may know on there, and it has, they might have saw her on that, and they just said, oh, okay. So they just start, you know, adding everybody that they could, you know. So there you go. I mean, it was just, I didn't want any real part of it, you know, and she didn't want any part of it, and I just thought at that point that it was like the whole pretending to be a woman thing, and it wasn't even trying to pretend to be a woman because it was transgender. This was actually pretending to be a woman to get more people to like you. You put a fucking hot girl picture there. And it's like, dude, no. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you look like. So, it's just a fucking weird situation, you know? And that's all that happened. But they insisted, they keep on bothering me about it. As for King Cobra, I have nothing against him either. I don't know him. I don't have anything against him. Let's just drop the shit, okay? Whatever. It looks like an Ethiopian village can live for a week on the food crumbs in his bed. Whatever. I drank some of that tea that's supposed to help you calm down. It's only made me piss all night. Worst case, oh, you know what it was? I think that had something to do with. I had to go to court that the next day, and I couldn't even sleep. Like, I was up all night because I was worried sick. I was worried sick I was going to go back to jail. And I was like drinking all this tea. It was supposed to calm you down and put you to sleep, but it just made me like just piss. I was pissing tea all night. I don't know. He pushes the dumpster as... I don't know what that even means. This guy writes, watch bits and pieces of his video. Many are 1 hour plus, and I don't want to dedicate time to some fat fuck rambling on and on. In one video, he chugs a stein of hot chocolate while wearing a green Jello tour shirt. He has a cat which is almost as beast as he is. He seems to have an obsession with his favorite words, tight and stiff. He calls them kick words for some reason. Okay. You know... Oh yeah, then he posted a picture of my underwear up there. So... No, my cat isn't obese. My cat is just like a big cat. She's more muscular than fat. It's an older cat, whatever. He seems to have an obsession with his favorite words, tight and stiff. He calls them kick words. I already went through the whole story. Pretty much, me and Eugene, who I've known since probably second grade, maybe first grade, I don't even know anymore. I've known him for a while. I've known him for a long, long time. And we would get together, like we would grow up. He used to hang out at Zelmer Street on Regent. He comes over here sometimes, and the one day we was sleeping over, and we were just watching fucking infomercials for some reason, and I don't really understand. I really don't remember how tight became funny, but somehow it was like I kept saying something about how I was wearing tight pants or something, and I kept laughing about it. I go, tight pants. And then we go upstairs, and at the time, we didn't have a computer. We had something called web TV, which was pretty much just a box that you put on your TV, plug a phone cord in, plug the fucking video cords in, and there you go. It connects to the internet through this web TV thing. It's really fucking weird. So we were going on web TV, and we were looking up this Mortal Kombat site. And this Mortal Kombat site had this story. It was like a parody site where it was like the whole story, and it changed a lot of the names. So we got to the part with Nightwolf, the Indian guy, and instead of calling him Nightwolf, they call him Tight Wolf. And we started laughing at that. Then we would watch infomercials at night, and for some reason, I just started watching fucking infomercials like a fucking madman. and like mental patient. We would watch infomercials because that was what we would do. It was funny for us. So we would watch infomercials, and we had a thing called the Tight Lies Golf Club. And we just started going nuts over it. Now the thing is that a kick word is like it's just any word that you find funny, that anytime you say it, or not even time to say it, every time you hear it on a movie or a video game or music, TV show, whatever, you just go fucking ape shit. Think of it as like a real life, like Pee-wee's Playhouse kind of thing, where they get the word, and it's like, the word of the day is tight. Woo! Think of it like that, but it's real fucking life, okay? And tight's one of them. Stiff is another. Grease is another. Mold. I don't even remember the other ones. The shoes. Bait is one of them. And they all have their own little fucking backstory. So that's another thing. What's going on? Right. Oh, the Rifle King, the King in all his glory. Oh, that's all of it? Damn. Man, that's a stupid fucking picture of me, too, with the fucking crown on. So, that's what happened. And somebody also asked me about, how, why I got arrested, back in May. And the details were, I'm not going to use names because detectives are watching my videos, but long story short is that chick I knew for about 11 years, she used to live in the neighborhood. She used to live in Lovejoy, about a couple blocks away from where I live now. Used to go over, we met at Thursday in the Square, okay? And I used to go over to her house, and we would hang out. Nothing sexual between us. We just hang out, watch movies, play video games, play Guitar Hero, what the fuck ever. And at the time, she had a boyfriend. And the boyfriend was fine with me. And it was pretty much me, her, the boyfriend, and some of her friends would all hang out at this house. So okay, whatever. They would all sit there and get stupid and get fucking drunk or whatever. Well, whatever. It was all fun and games, right? Well, after a while, I started to realize that she was kind of fucked up. I believe she had the intelligence of like a 10-year-old. I don't know, because she had a lot of alcohol problems as well. And I don't know if that had to do with being an alcoholic or not, but I don't know. But it was just, she would just get loud and obnoxious, and she just get all loud, and she'd run around the house and fall over, and we go play bowling. We go to a bowling alley. That's all she did, would get drunk and miss her turn. And then she would sit there and call the black people in the bowling alley. She'd go up to the black people in the bowling alley, call them niggers, and it's we get in trouble. We got kicked out of there. We got kicked out of the bowling alley because she was so drunk. She was going up to black people in the bowling alley. And mind you, this bowling alley was down on Bailey. It's called Bolin. On Bailey near Clinton Street. And she would go up to all the black people in the bowling alley and called them niggers and everything else. And we got kicked out a couple times. I had to go back in there and apologize, and they wish she was drunk. They kind of laughed at it, but the owners kicked us out a couple times because of it. So, start to realize that she's fucked up. And it started getting fucked up when she get drunk, and she would have sex with her boyfriend right in front of me. And I was like, come on, can't you just wait till I'm gone? And every time it would happen, I just leave. I would just leave, and I'm fuck it, I don't want to look. I saw the guy's dick many times. I don't want to see a guy's fucking dick. I saw her pussy a couple times. I saw her tits. Okay? I don't really fucking care, but I saw the fucking boyfriend's dick. Okay? So I left. It's just rude anyway that I would have to watch that. So I come back a week or so later, and I told her I told her why it bothers me, but she doesn't care. She just keeps doing it over and over and over again. So something happened. The boyfriend had to go to the hospital because he all fucked up too. He had bipolar, and he had a fucking breakdown, and he went to fucking CPAP, and he spent like a month at ECMC in the psych ward. So I still went over to her house. We were hanging out, we would watch movies and everything else while the boyfriend was in the hospital. We went and go and visit the guy in the fucking hospital. But she would still get drunk, she would still get horny, and instead of saying, hey Mike, you want to fuck me? No. She felt it was appropriate that instead of doing that, she would just blow her fucking dog anyway. I left. I was like, I don't want to fucking look at this. This is beyond anything that I want to know about. So I'm gonna leave. And I never looked back. I never hung out with her again. But I saw her every so often, like at concerts, at bars and whatnot. I saw her at guar shows, and I saw her. She tried one time. I went to see Alice Cooper, and it was nothing but let's bother Mike the whole night. I had to blend in with the crowd to get rid of her. But one day I saw her at what's that place in Williamsville? What the fuck is that place called? Club Infinity. I went to Club Infinity after work. I was still wearing my work shirt at the time, because I was working at JCPenney's at that Eastern Hills Mall, and after work I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go to fucking Club Infinity after, because I want to see this band. Okay, so I just walked down the street. I didn't bother to put on a new shirt, so I walk in there with my fucking work shirt on. First thing I saw was her coming running up to me. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. And I see her rushing me, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me, okay? And every time I would walk by her, because she was sitting right in the middle of the bar, and here's where the bands would play. Here's the entrance slash front of the bar where they had the merch tables. Here's the bands, here's the merch tables. And right in the middle of the whole thing was where she was sitting. So I would have to go in between bands and sometimes I'd have to go, in order to get to the front where the bathrooms are, or to go outside, or buy something from the merch table, I would have to walk right past her. Every single time. Walk past her and walk back past her. Every time I saw her, she'd turn around and start laughing at me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I told this guy that I knew there, it's like, this chick's fucking bothering me. And she must have heard it. After he was done talking to me, she runs up to me like, Mike, I want to call a truce. Okay, what the fuck? How about we just stop talking to each other? How about we leave each other alone? We're gonna see each other at shows. So let's leave it at that. Let's shake on it. I was like, this is probably the most mature thing you have ever done in your life. I shook her fucking hand. I ended up going washing my hand, but I shook her fucking hand. But after the whole thing, she's like, what's KBS? She saw my shirt. What's KBS? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. I want to go wash my hands. The rest of the night, I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear a fucking peep from her. Okay, cool. I ended up going home. A couple days later, I get a call from, or I go into work, I said, Mike, we need to talk to you. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? My supervisor calls me in the office. He's like, my direct supervisor I see every fucking day. And then there was like the district manager and like the store manager there. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? It's like, Mike, we got a complaint about you from somebody. I'm like, really? Yeah, I guess this woman's saying that she came into the store one night and you punched her. I'm like, what? You sure it was me? Like, yeah, she said Michael Constantino. So, okay, whatever. I said, first of all, it was a day I was working too, I think. I said, so they got the what do you call it, the camera guy, not the camera guy. They got the security guy to play tapes from the night that this supposedly happened, and he was watching me the whole fucking night I was there, and nothing happened. And they played the fucking voicemail or whatever for me, and it was her fucking voice. I'm like, I know exactly who that is. And the security guy actually said, I don't see anything where he even punches anybody. So he's off the hook. So she was trying to get me fired, and they let it go because they couldn't find any tape of it. But they did say, listen, from now on, don't fucking wear your work shirt out. I told him what happened. I met her. I didn't meet her, but I knew her because I went to this bar. I saw her there, and that's all she did was fucking start crap with me. Okay. So he said, my supervisor's like, listen, if you go back to that bar, okay, after work again, just make sure you bring another shirt. Don't be wearing your KBS shirt outside of work. Okay, okay, whatever. So after all that, I started to bring my own another shirt just in case. So then, 2013, saw her again at a place called the Waiting Room. Okay, there's the show going on. I didn't say a word to her. I'm not saying a word to her. Okay? And, like, I can't really stand that long in one spot. So what I'll do is, like, between bands, I'll just go outside or something. I'm just going to walk around the block or something, because I need to stay moving, you know? Or else, like, I'd start getting all, like, weird, you know? So, one time I go outside, and this guy comes up to me and just starts like, "Hey, are you Mike?" I said, "Yeah, why, what's up?" Like, "You need to leave her alone." "Excuse me?" "Yeah, you need to leave that girl alone." I'm like, "What you talking about? I not even fucking talk. I never talked to her. I didn't say a word to her that night." He's like, "Yeah, well, she's saying you're following her around the bar." I'm like, I'm standing at the against the wall. He's like, "Yeah, I know that. But she's going around saying you're following her around. Don't do it. I'm just warning you that she's saying that. I saw you the whole time just standing against the fucking wall. So I'm just warning you." So I ended up going, okay, whatever. I am just going home. I don't want to put up with her shit. Later that night, like about a day or two after, I look on her Facebook for some reason, and she writes on there, "Michael Constantino is number 3 on a list of people that I want dead, or I want to kill," or something like that. First, I just laughed it off. I was like, who's number 1? Who's number 2? Then when after I stopped laughing, I'm like, okay, I printed it out. I took it down to the police station, and they were like, "Oh, we can't do this. We can't handle this." I'm like, "Why not?" "Because it's the internet. We don't handle internet." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You don't handle the internet. What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, "We don't handle internet." I said, "So what are you saying here? That it's legal to threaten someone over the internet?" And they said, "Yeah, it is." I was like, whatever. I ended up going to like 4 different police stations in Buffalo, and they all told me the same thing. It was like the first police station, just fucking call them all and say, "If this guy comes in, tell him we don't handle it." And it's like, there's the same exact response. I'm like, okay, so it must be legal to make threats over the internet then, right? I don't fucking know. 2015 comes around, and I found out from a mutual friend of ours that she got married and she's pregnant now. I'm like, oh great. And I was like, this isn't good. I waited until the baby was born. When she started throwing pictures up on Facebook, fucking baby was born. I called CPS on her, Child Protective Services. Called them up, told them what's going on, and a couple hours later, I was out with my dad, and I get a call from Cheektowaga Police. It was some detective. I don't even know his name. It could have been Detective Griffin. I don't know. Okay, I don't even know who it was at the time. Okay, they said it's their name, but at this point, I don't even remember. Okay? So, oh my God. So, he called me and was like, yeah, you're not allowed to call CPS on her. If you do it again, you'll be arrested. What? First of all, when I called CPS, I didn't even give a name or a number. I didn't give my name or number. So, here's a big thing, okay? If you're going to call CPS on somebody, don't. because it's not anonymous. No matter what they say, it's not anonymous. So moving on, my dad was like, when you get home, call Cheektowaga Police back and ask for that detective. My dad thought that when they called me, it was like one of our friends playing games, pretending to be a Cheektowaga detective, just to like, you know, like a prank call pretty much. So that's what I did. I looked up Cheektowaga Police phone number. I called up the police station. I said, and it went straight to a voicemail. Okay, I called it up, called the number that it was on. It was like a general line. It went straight to a voicemail. It was probably at lunch or something. But it was just a general line, and I left a message. It said, this is for Detective so-and-so. Have him call me back. It's about the girl that he called me about earlier. I'm just wondering if this is right, because I'll be honest, my dad thinks it's a fake call, and I'm just trying to be safe and sorry. Okay? I never got a call back. I never got a call back. So, okay, we chalked it up to her playing games on the phone now. Now I feel that she's impersonating a police officer or her friend or whatever. But I don't know a friend who's doing it, so I couldn't really say anything. All I know is that somebody impersonated a police officer, a detective, and this is what's happening. Whatever. So she had the baby, and I was like, okay, CPS is already, aware. Then, the same mutual friend tells me that she's pregnant again. And at that point, I was just like, because here's the thing, back in 2015, when I first found out she was pregnant the first time, yeah, I got a little, I was really concerned. I was really concerned for her kid, because I knew how she was back then. I know how she was. I didn't know if she was like that still, and I wasn't going to take any chances. She needed to be checked out, pretty much. I felt that she needed to, at least have a surprise visit, just so that, just a surprise welfare check. Because, I don't know if she's still like that today, or if, having the baby, kicked her in the ass or whatever, but I wanted to err on the side of caution, and I wanted it to be checked out at least. I didn't mean for it to be anything harmful, So back in May, I found out she got pregnant again. And instead of calling CPS again, I got on my camera, did the 2-hour rant about her, and just laid into her, and a lot of inappropriate things were said. Just a lot of personal attacks. But one thing in particular, I said that I got so upset, and I wouldn't even have done it. It wasn't even. It was a, what do you call it? it was just something I kind of blurted out, and it's like I didn't even think about it at the moment, but I got so upset. I said, I just want to go to her house and rip the baby out of her womb. And it was something that I didn't even mean. I believe me, I wouldn't have even done it. I wouldn't have even acted on it. Okay? It's just something I got so upset over. Because here's the thing. I don't like to see fucking children being brought up in an environment like that. You know? I don't. It's one thing to be, you know, scummy with yourself and with your with a husband or a girlfriend or boyfriend or wife, or you know, it's one thing to be like that, you know, with yourself or a mutual partner, and then it's another thing to be like that with an innocent fucking child that's gonna grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I don't know if she, being pregnant, kicked her in the ass and like, I gotta stop the drinking. I need to stop being like this. You know, I need to start showering properly, and I need to stop doing shit with a dog and what the fuck else. You know, I don't know if that happened, but I hope it did. I hope it was a kick in the ass to her, and but then again, I shouldn't have said what I said either, where I made that threat. And I'm not blaming anyone for it. I blame myself completely. And I, a couple days after I made that video, I got a knock at the door. It was police. And as soon as they said it was the police, I kind of had a feeling I know what was going on. They took me down to Cheektowaga. I got to sit in their dirty, filthy fucking holding cell. And at first I was just like, okay. And it was this guy that arrested me, by the way. And like I said, I have nothing against Detective Griffin. I think he's a good guy. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. He has a job to do. He's doing it. And everything that got me arrested was my fault. I'm not going to sit there and say, you know, fuck the police or anything. That's not what I am. I take full responsibility. I have no grudge against them. So, yeah, to tie into what somebody asked me about that picture, I have nothing against them. Okay? So don't feel like I'm like sore because he arrested me. And no, it's not the point. I know that it's my fault that I got arrested, so I take 100% responsibility for that. He's doing a job. That's the end of the story, and whatever. He's a good guy. That's all I'm going to say. But here's the thing. I thought when I was in jail, that first night or whatever, I thought I was going to go see a judge the next day, and I was going to get out or something, right? No. The judge wanted to hold me. Judge wanted to hold me so I can get a forensic evaluation done. And he wanted me to do that to see if I was competent to stand trial. Which what that means is that you sit at that fucking Erie County Holding Center for as long as it takes, and you have to see two shrinks there. You have to see two shrinks there at the Erie County Holding Center, and then they say, hey, you're competent to stand trial, or you're not competent to stand trial. And if I'm competent to stand trial, okay, what happens is the case goes on like normal, and the plea deal or whatever, or go to fucking trial. Oh, that would have been great, going to fucking trial. But then it can get like a big OJ case going, you know. But or if it doesn't go to, or if I'm not competent to stand trial, the case gets dropped. But then I would have to spend time in ECMC. It's pretty much the best thing that can happen. I was a stand trial, or I mean, competent to stand trial, and then try to work out the plea deal. Because if you're not competent to stand trial, they'll say, okay, we're done with this case. Okay, and that might sound good right away, but they would lock you up in a fucking psych ward. That's what happens. Okay? That's what happened to Brian Sook. Okay? That's what actually happened to Brian Sook, by the way. If anyone knows about that one. Brian Sook was this guy that me and JMG and his brother SGG knew, and Brian Sook was this guy that we all knew, okay, lived at the fucking group home, and Brian Sook, you know, when I moved out of group home, Brian Sook moved out, everyone moved out, but we still hung out and all that. So, Brian Sook lived in Lockport, I guess he lived. And, like his girlfriend, I think it was, had a cat, okay? And Brian Sook, because he was like stupid and he was like retarded or something, I don't know what the fuck happened. He decided he was going to kill this cat. No fucking reason. And he wrapped fucking tape around the fucking cat's legs and and fucking drowned the cat, I guess it was, in a bathtub. And at first we heard about this and I was like, Brian fucking didn't do that. And he got arrested. I was with Brian Sook when the detective from Lockport called him and said, hey, you're under arrest. Just, where are you? And, you know, I'll come and pick you up wherever. I wasn't actually, I didn't see him get arrested, but I was with him. I was with Brian Sook when the detective called him, okay? So, I think the next day he went back to Lockport and got arrested or something. But, you know, anyway, Brian fucking Sook. So anyway, Brian Sook went and he was found not competent to stand trial. Okay, so they dropped the case right there. But he had to do time, not really time, but he had to do like an inpatient psychiatric thing at the Buffalo Psych Center where I go to my gym. Okay, where that gym is that I go to, and we saw him there. Me and Bologna went to this gym together, and we saw him there. So yeah, that's what happened. He lived at that psych center for about a year. He's out now. He's got a kid now, which is fucking weird. And his whole Facebook wall is like nothing but cat videos, which is really fucking creepy, considering what he did. Yeah. So that's what that's the example of what'll happen when you're not competent to stand trial. I was competent to stand trial. And what happened was, after I was found competent, they said, listen, we give you a plea deal, you plead guilty to 1 count of harassment, and I was charged with aggravated harassment, which is Class A misdemeanor. It's the highest form of misdemeanor, right below the lowest form of felony. We dropped that down to a 1 count of harassment. It's a violation, doesn't go on your permanent record, and you got to abide by a 1-year restraining order, and you got to go to counseling. You got to go to, mental health counseling for a year. And you go home today. Because a violation, like they pretty much reduce it to like a parking ticket. The equivalent of a parking ticket. And, a violation could be up to 15 days in jail. But since you did 28, you'll be out later today. I was like, fine, I'll do the fucking plea deal. Let's get me the hell out of here. I want to go home. I want to play video games. I want to eat some real food. I want to see my fucking cat. I want to listen to some real fucking music. I want to go jerk off. And that's it. So, okay. So I did the plea deal. Got out a couple hours later. And I've been out of jail ever since. That was back in June. That was 28 days. I didn't get that. I won't get back. And I felt like fucking Austin Powers, waking up out of a sleep, and trying to relearn everything that was going on in the world. I didn't know if Donald Trump was the president anymore. I haven't seen any kind of news since I got in. I don't know if Donald Trump got shot and somebody else took over. I don't know. That's when I found out that while I was in jail, there was an E3, and they announced Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid. What was the one for the 3DS? Hi, Gravy. They announced that. I was like, oh, cool. I have Metroid Prime 4 and the 3DS Metroid. All right. So that's. I regret it. I regret doing it. I regret doing what I have to do, doing what I did to get into jail. But I'm not gonna hold Griffin accountable. I'm not gonna. I don't have anything against him. You put me in jail like that. I'm not gonna do that shit. In fact, I had to go back to court in November because I got my one counselor, Dr. Nintendo, dropped me because of because of the whole recording thing. I recorded a phone call between me and him, and he dropped me because of it. And he wrote to the court after all that, said, "Oh, he's not in counseling anymore." And they dragged me to court again. And okay, whatever. And that was it. I couldn't sleep the night before, but I got out because I said, "Listen, I am going to counseling. Here's all the proof that I'm going to counseling. I'm working. I'm going to counseling. I'm working. Whatever. I shouldn't have to go back to jail. I might have got drop from a counselor, but you know what? I picked up where I left off, you know? That's the bottom line. So there you go. And after court, I took a walk to Pizza Hut on Union. Where is it now? It was Union and I don't know where it was. But it was across the street from, I think it's like Cheektowaga High School. Like near the Zangs. Like a little bit past Walden. Went there, got my Pizza Hut buffet. Pizza slut buffet. Got that. And after the buffet, I was like, okay, let's walk to the fucking mall. Let's walk. I was like, let's walk to the Galleria Mall. I'm gonna go shopping. And after a pizza slut, I went to the Galleria Mall. And as I'm walking, I see Detective Griffin pull up beside me. Hey, Moy, how'd your court go? I'm like, that's why I'm okay. See, it's that kind of shit. He recognized me. That's cool. I have nothing against them. So there you go. There you go, right there. I have nothing against Detective Griffin. I really don't. So he's cool in my book. Just because he was doing a job, I'm not holding it against him. There he goes. So he gave me that. So I get to hang his picture. It looks fucking funny too. He put his head all fucking big. It's just a picture of him with a big head. I don't know how you put that head all big like that. But he's holding like a, looks like clip art pizza. That's what it is. It's like he's holding a pizza box, but the pizza is on top of the pizza box. That's really weird. Like, who the fuck eats the pizza off the top of the pizza box? Unless that's just a pizza box, and on top of the pizza box there's a picture of a pizza. I don't know anymore. But yeah, I just want to address that with this website. I honestly don't have anything against this website. They're not saying anything that really isn't true. I mean, they're not really saying that anything that isn't true. Like I don't like Clint because he was saying the same kind of shit, but that's not what makes me upset. What makes me upset is what makes me upset is when people accuse me of shit that I didn't do. And they're not saying anything that that isn't true, really. Like, they're not saying they're calling me a pedophile when I'm not. They're not sitting there calling me, saying that I stole a guitar. Which is kind of weird because if I really stole that guitar from that raffle, why didn't Clint just address it right there and then, like to my face, or private message? She said, "I fucking stole that guitar." Why do you have to go on the fucking thing there? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even get it. I don't even understand why he would say something like that, and I still don't. So I'm just telling you how it is. You want to make a fucking threat about me on a forum? Well, then I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna put the record straight here. Even though they're not saying anything that they it's not true. But they just seem to have a lot of questions about it. So that's what I'm doing. This is Dragon Lord Frodo, and I approve this message. Thanks in advance for watching this.